I can't do anything bad. You just stole all the thunder. A great job. And a lot of those things you said are things that I went through as a young woman, non-athlete, who never got a chance to play. But I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the IU Alumni Association and the I Association for an award that I will cherish forever. I was both humbled and awed when I found out about it. Congratulations to Diane. We knew mutual people, but never met till tonight. But what a great person. And I also, congratulations to the two Honorable I Award winners tonight for great contributions that you've made to Indiana University. One thing I know for certain was that Coach Grotke started my love affair with sports. She was my teacher, she was my coach, athletic director, and role model. Last week, I was able to talk to Coach Grotke for about 40 minutes or longer, and we tried to make up for 40 plus years. I had the opportunity to personally thank her for giving me the opportunity to compete for the first time in my life and provide the groundwork for everything that's come to my life professionally. Without her guidance, I wouldn't be here tonight. I would like to say thanks to all my family and friends. I don't think anybody's left in Seymour tonight. Who came to share this honor with me. Each one of you has shared an important part in my successes. I want to specifically mention the IU women's basketball coach, Terry Moore, who played volleyball and basketball at Seymour for me. I'm very proud of the woman that you have become. I hope that I was able to give to you during my time at Seymour some of the same lessons and dreams and experiences that Coach Grotke gave me some 50 years ago. My journey began when I was fortunate enough to attend Indiana University. I grew up 40 miles south in Orleans, where it wasn't okay to compete in sports. But when I got here, you had to take 4 W100 classes. Those in the 60s might remember that. So I signed up for volleyball, basketball, softball, and track. But volleyball probably changed my life because of Coach Grotke was the teacher. If anybody else remembers, in 1964, the Japanese had just won the gold medal in volleyball and started playing power volleyball as we know it today. And Coach Grotke taught that in 1966-67 school year here at IU. After we finished the class, she said, would you like to be on the team? We're going to start a girls volleyball team represent Indiana University. Would you like to be on it? So we had 15 people from the class who started on that first team. We practiced whenever there was a gym available, most of the time 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night. And we put our own nets up. We took our own nets down. But it was a chance to compete. I started and played for 4 years for Coach Grotke, and I was captain my senior year. Coach Grotke gave me the opportunity to do some things they said I never was able to do in high school, and that was compete. But I think the thing that most impressed me about her is I started actually as a nursing major at IU, and when I started playing volleyball for Coach Grotke, I saw the influences and the things that she could do that maybe I couldn't do in nursing, but I could do in education. So after my sophomore year, I changed to physical education and health. I would say that 99% of that decision was because of Coach Grotke. I had tremendous respect for her as a person, a coach, and an athletic director, and I still do today. And as you know, she was instrumental. We talked about starting this women's sports program at IU, and through her leadership, she taught many of us the things we would need to do to start a girls' athletic program in our high schools. I also played softball for 2 years and field hockey my senior year. Coach Burris was my field hockey coach, and we were just talking tonight. I was talked into playing by some friends who were hyper majors who wanted to. They needed a goalie. So they looked at me and said, "We'll teach you how to play that position." If you grew up in Indiana, you didn't play field hockey. I can guarantee you that. So we came early to my senior year. We went out behind the Hyper building, and they hit balls at me. And goalie. We were 12-0-1 my senior year, and we tied our, I won't even say the name, it probably doesn't belong here. And we played in 2 inches of snow that day with a red ball in November, out behind the Hyper building on 10th Street, and we tied Purdue. But it was a great experience. I've also had a lot of people, one of which was my niece, ask me about basketball. She said, "How did you get in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame? You never played basketball at IU." And I said, because in 1966, it was 6-player basketball in the high schools, if you could play, and that's 3 guards and 3 forwards. It dates me back a little bit. Some of you might remember that. So I played basketball, but I played with my brothers, played with friends, but I would not play 6-player basketball. I did not like it, so I didn't play it. In 1968, here at IU, they switched to the 5-player game, but at that time I was already committed to volleyball, and they were at the same season, so I stayed in volleyball. I learned the coaching aspect of the game of basketball from the Hall of Fame basketball coach, Barney Scott, who was the athletic director and basketball coach at Seymour High School when I began coaching there in 1970. I was brought up in an era when girls couldn't compete because they thought the boys' teams might get in trouble. But when I graduated from IU, I had an opportunity to start a girls' sports program at Seymour High School. I used a lot of the ideas from Coach Grotke. I wanted to give girls the opportunity that Coach Grotke had given myself and girls at IU at that time. I wanted them to be able to compete in high school and find their dreams as I had at IU. And in Seymour in 1970, we started with 2 sports, of which one was basketball, and it was 6-player. Coached 1 year as 6-player. After that, it was 5. We continued to add 2 sports a year until 8 sports, and that was before Title IX. We eventually added the sports of soccer and volleyball in the early 1990s to have 10 girls sports, of which they still have today. Amy said I needed to tell you a little story or two. And back in the days we played, real quickly, when I was playing field hockey, we drove the 15-passenger vans, and volleyball and field hockey both. Coach might drive one, and one of the students would drive, the athletes would drive the other, so I drove all the time. I drove a 15-passenger van all over Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, and wherever. And we were driving to play field hockey in eastern Kentucky. And Coach Wong was Coach Burse's assistant. Coach Wong was from New York. We won't hold that against him. But Coach Wong was driving the other van, and I was driving the second one. We get to eastern Kentucky, and it poured down rain all the way there. We're all going down. We got up at 5 o'clock to leave. You know, you didn't get up. So left at 5, and we got down there probably about 8 o'clock, and still raining. They finally decided they were going to just cancel. So they canceled the field hockey game, and so we turned around, got back in the van, drive back to Bloomington. We're driving between Lexington and Louisville. And we get almost to Louisville. Coach Wong's leading, and she sees the sign. It says Indianapolis to the right, Nashville to the left. Now remember, she's from New York. So that Nashville meant one thing, that's Nashville, Indiana. So we veer off to the left and we go south on Interstate 65. And that was the day before cell phones. And that was the day before any kind of communication system. So we follow Coach Wong. And we drive for about 15 miles south on Interstate 65. We finally get her attention, pull her over and said, "Coach, where are you going?" "Go back to Bloomington." I said, "No, we're going to Nashville, Tennessee on this road." And she said, "Well, it said Nashville back there." I said, "Yeah, Coach, that was Nashville, Indiana." It wasn't Nashville, Indiana. That was Nashville, Tennessee. But I remember that. And Coach Wong and I used to see her at the Women's Final Four, and we'd talk about that experience. Another one was playing in volleyball. We played in the old Hyper building, and the end line was about 2 inches from the wall. Okay? Now, so you had to stand, and you can imagine standing with your foot on the wall, and then that's where you had to start serving. And then you could allow one step into the court and serve. Now, I sat and watched players today play, and I think they're 25 foot back on the left baseline, and they would have had a tough time playing the old Hyperbill, let me say. But it was a chance to compete. It's a chance to play. It's a chance for the first time in my life to compete for something in sports. And from that, Coach Grotke gave me that opportunity. Athletics, especially volleyball and basketball, has allowed me to touch many lives, both here and abroad. I've used my IU degree and athletic experience from IU for the past 45 years in teaching, coaching, athletic administration, conducting basketball clinics in Africa, conducting volleyball and basketball clinics in the Dominican Republic through my church to over 1,000 Dominican children for the past 6 summers, and presently mentoring current high school coaches. God has truly blessed me. And in closing, this has been a special, special evening. I just say thank you to all my friends that I could share it with tonight, all my family that I could share this with tonight. Athletics has given me much more than I deserve. I'm both humbled and blessed by this award, and say to Coach Grotke and Indiana University, God bless, and thanks to everyone for attending tonight. Thank you.